Welcome back to a new video, guys. So today we're going to be going over Monero is a ticking time bomb, and we're going to give you 9 reasons why you should hold Monero, why you should buy and invest. And the first off our list, ladies and gentlemen, FCMP++. You might be going, hey Mav, what is this thing? Monero's getting an update. Could anything go wrong? So what FCMP++ is, it is quantum proof privacy. That's right. You're like, oh, but Monero already has privacy. It has ring signatures. We're not going to get all into the nerdy, yipper yapper on it. But what that does is it's essentially ring signatures, 16 people it could possibly be. With this FCMP++, that boosts it to millions, okay? Quantum computers wouldn't be able to handle that. Okay, it's been proven. Quantum proof privacy. And that's what that upgrade is. And we're going to go over later, number 8, about what comes with FCMP++, which is also one of the most bullish factors for Monero, which will full send it as we all want. Okay, because we've been told a lot that Monero is that number go up coin. We've just been told that blindly, and a lot of the spaces just believe that without doing their own research. So I'm doing that for you right here, okay? On this channel, baby. And what FCMP++ is, once that is successful, once we have quantum proof privacy, it dwarfs all the tech in the entire space. It makes it some of the most private tech ever created, okay? We can look through all the different privacy tech that exists right now. We got SimpleX, we got Telegram, we have Mulvad, we have all these, we got Tor, you got all these little privacy things, okay? But all you need to know, Monero trumps that. And with this update, once it's successful on chain, you might be like, oh, that's some risky. Monero has had many hard forks, and that was what that is. It means essentially a huge update being pushed to the chain. And some cryptos have this all the time, and Monero's been successful every single time. It's been audited. We've had successful audits recently. And when this goes live, and it's been proven to work, it is going to full send this coin. This update is not priced in, and developers have been hard at work for years now working on this development, because it is going to future-proof Monero's privacy. Okay, and it's not only a privacy coin, don't get that twisted here. It's the next global currency. That's where this $10 million goal comes from, the next global currency. If you didn't know, one of Bitcoin's creators, I've said this in some videos before, and gave the goal for Bitcoin, the price estimation of $10 million per coin. You might be wondering, hey, $10 million per coin? This seems like a crapshoot. I could buy one Monero right now for $400. And let me tell you, that is going to be the best $400 lottery ticket of your life. Either it goes to 0, or it takes over as the next global currency and you got it in at the ground floor. This is essentially the meeting at Jekyll Island. If you didn't know, that's when the Federal Reserve was established. And all those bankers became obscenely rich, okay? And we're not like the bankers. We're freeing humanity here. We're ending central banking. We're ending the printing of money. We're creating a hard currency that will help us conquer the stars, tap the ocean depths, become an interplanetary species, make God proud when we build these huge monoliths. We're going to free each and every country. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, fix the money, fix the world. That was a Bitcoin mantra, right? That's what we were told everywhere. Fix the money, fix the world. You were told this by every Bitcoiner ever. And at some point, they chose greed. They chose money over changing the world. They didn't want to be this currency. And back to the Bitcoin founder, he specifically stated that Bitcoin was going to be cash. That Bitcoin was going to be a dollar replacement, because it came out during the financial crisis of 2008. And it's in fact inscribed on the Bitcoin blockchain, the 2008 financial crisis bailout. What's wrong with this bailout? So what a bailout is, we're going back to the 2008 financial crime, that's what it is. The banks played a risky with their money. They were gambling, essentially. They were doing a whole bunch of wazi, woozy, fugazi.
How many loans do you write each month?
About 60.
Do applicants ever get rejected?
My firm offers ninja loans. No income, no job. You know, I just leave the income section blank if I want. Corporate doesn't care. These people just want homes.
I don't get it. Why are they confessing?
They're not confessing.
They're bragging.
Fugazi bullshit. And you know, they got into trouble. They lost a lot of money. A lot of people weren't paying back their money that they owed them. And so these banks were going to go under. Rightfully so. They turned around and found out. okay? That's what a hard money does. You can't take risks with this hard money because there's no bailout. What's a bailout, you might ask, okay? Well, we're gonna get to the nitty and gritty. The government prints this currency that you bleed, that you sweat, that you die for out of thin air, devaluing it, by the way, to give to these corporations. Out of thin air, that's a bailout, to make sure that they still exist. JP Morgan, Chase, Wells Fargo, Bank of America, they're stealing from you, inflation, and they're giving it to these big corporations. And you know what, that pissed off a lot of people. A lot of these smart brains. You know, I would like to pride myself on, hey, I'm not the stupidest, you know, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, but I do believe I have a little bit of wits to me. I'm not smart enough where I can like code and do all that, you know, important things that these people have done for the past 40 years to get to where we are. And it's been a long journey. I still cannot comprehend how we have this tech right now in our hands that we can get and use immediately as of 2026. There's no, oh, maybe we could use it, oh, maybe in the future. You can use it right now. You can download Unstoppable Wallet or Cake Wallet and get using Monero immediately. There's no, waiting some years and oh, it's a theory, it could work. No, we have private digital cash that's a fiat currency replacement right now. You can replace the dollar right now. You can replace it tomorrow. All that it requires is attention and eyes, okay? If nobody knows about this perfect invention that was birthed during Bitcoin's hijacking. If you didn't know Bitcoin was hijacked, listen, I prefaced this in many videos. I might make a video on it in and of itself. Bitcoin was hijacked. And you're like, oh, what? So Satoshi Nakamoto specifically talked about ring signatures adding privacy to Bitcoin. And some years later, he decided to leave the project to work on better things. And coincidentally, when Bitcoin is being hijacked by federal agents and, you know, they were DDoSing, they were threatening people, they were doing a lot of things that I cannot say on camera, and Jeffrey Epstein was funding Blockstream, which was behind the architectural of slowing and making the chain more expensive. So that means you couldn't transact with Bitcoin. Because Bitcoin had blew up so much. You could transact with it on Steam. If you didn't know Steam, it's a huge gamer marketplace. You can play games, you can buy in-game skins. It's a whole thing. It's huge, okay? Very established on the internet. Microsoft. You don't know who Microsoft is, you might be living under a rock. A huge trillion-dollar corporation was now accepting it. We have these two blocks. We're gonna add another one. We're gonna have Newegg, which is an electronic company. Okay, so we're getting these huge economies now accepting Bitcoin. And you know, as they're accepting Bitcoin, it's establishing a new foundational market cap. So the price cannot go down below that. And that is a threat. They saw that this new currency was being accepted everywhere, because guess what? People thought it was private. It turns out it's not. Because if I send you money, I can see your balance, I can see your transaction history. That's not private freedom money at all. That's the opposite. That's a public bank account. Okay? So they saw this, and they full steam ahead. A lot of people funded Blockstream, which fought for, we censored, we banned, we got rid of a lot of key influencers that were speaking out against this. So it was just only pro Blockstream, pro, you know, this is necessary. We don't need a fast Bitcoin. We don't need a cheap Bitcoin. You know, it's not a currency. You know, it's not the digital cash that it was literally created to be, a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. No, it's not that. You know, one of my theories is that Satoshi Nakamoto created Monero because he released it at the perfect time as Bitcoin was getting hijacked, as we just talked about. Okay? And as that was being hijacked, Monero had time to flourish and create this beautiful thing that we have now that we can use today in our pockets. And it is about to experience a huge upgrade. And once this is successful, once it is proven that, hey, there was no bugs, there's no hiccups. Because right now, some people are scared. Okay, they're not buying in. This is not a, you know, obviously people are going to be conservative with their money. So this gives us an opportunity. Those who live in fear and who refuse to look at the fact that we've had multiple successful updates that is being audited by major firms and that the community is one of the smartest in all of crypto. The other cryptos have pushed away these nerds I love you nerds. I'm not one of you. They pushed away these nerds and they have come to Monero. So we just embrace these nerds. And they've been building up this coin and doing monumental things like the hugest upgrade Monero's ever seen, that any crypto has ever seen. Okay, no other crypto is going to be quantum proof. And we talk about privacy. That's the most private tech. There's no other coin that comes close. Not Zcash, which was made in Israel. Google it, by the way, the Times of Israel. Not Rcoin, not Xano, which a lot of people are paid to promote. Mind you, that's why you might see some celebrities, some people you see on Twitter promoting it. They have a lot of money, they promote it to everybody, and frankly, I'm not that type of person. I will never sell out. You will never see me promoting a meme coin. You never see me promoting a shit coin. That's what everything else but Monero is. It's all a distraction. Because this is going to free humanity. Okay, why would I want to diddly-dally with all these coins that are not going to change the world? If I knew in my heart, and I had this true conviction that, hey, this thing is going to change the world, this thing is going to end endless wars, the inflation, the mass misery, why the fuck would I go and promote these goddamn shit coins for money? Completely killing a movement which could change the world. Because that's what Monero is, that's what this mission is, that's what this channel is, that's what Monero Society on Telegram is. You should join. It's a mission to change the world, to fix the money supply. A currency problem humanity has faced for 2,000 years. And we're never going to show these shit coins here. So that was FCMP++. TLDR, quantum proof privacy, the biggest upgrade Monero's ever seen, a whole multitude of other things. People are scared to buy, some people, because they are worried that, oh, something could go wrong, but they don't want to look at the history. Amazing buying opportunity. It's going to go beyond 1,000 a coin at this point, if it doesn't already. If it goes to 1,000 per coin before FCMP++, it is going to only go up. Okay, this dwarfs Zcash, and that's why the Cabal has been pumping it. They want to distract from Monero's huge upgrade, which dwarfs them by 2 trillion%, as if we didn't already dwarf them technologically wise. Because we see Zcash is not actually used. We're going to the transactions. We're going to go to the core documents where it clearly says they can trace it. We're going to go to Zcash themselves saying, hey, we're going to make this technology not traceable, not private for criminals, which essentially means it has a backdoor. And we're going to put a few things up on screen showing, hey, yeah, that's a Fugazi distraction. Made in Israel, by the way. So not only have we covered FCMP++, but we're going to go on to now number 2. Okay, remember this is 2 out of 9. These videos tend to be pretty long. Okay, I want to interject here before we go to number 2. If you press like and comment, it boosts this in the algorithm. More people can learn about Monero, more people can buy, hold, boost your investment, and help free humanity. So I really appreciate that. Subscribe too if you haven't already. These videos are, I love making these videos. It's fun to yap, and I'm so blessed people want to listen to me and whatnot, and all the love and support goes a long way too. So back to number 2. XMR is only listed on one exchange in most countries. Okay, now this is one of the most important things. And if you can go to Claude, you can go to Gemini, you can go to ChatGPT. Monero being listed on one exchange, and there is a rising demand for Monero. As we've seen clearly, let's look at this chart right here. This is the most beautiful chart in all of crypto. We can compare this with Ethereum. We can compare this with literally anything else. So I'm just going to put them on screen. It is going to skyrocket. We broke a level which really determined whether or not we were going to just zoom before any of these things happen. And as any of these things happen, one of these 9 things, it is only going to add fuel to the fire. Okay, and it's why it's so important to protect this coin, number 2. We're going to go back and we're going to cover it, don't you worry. But it is important, I want to drill this in everyone's brains, that we keep this coin private by default, that we keep it cheap to use. It's cost me less than a penny to send my Monero. And it's fast. It pops up in my wallet instantly, 0 confirmations. The traditional banking system takes 3 to 5 days. Monero takes 20 minutes to fully settle, but it's still in your wallet instantly. These are the 3 things. Oh, decentralization, CPU mining, meaning anybody can turn their home computer on, press a button, and mine and support the network and prevent it from getting hijacked or turned off. These 4 things are key and vital to make sure this goes to $10 million per coin. So it is in your best interest to fight to tooth and nail anybody who threatens these 4 characteristics of Monero. And we're going to go back to Monero is only listed on one exchange in most countries. Monero is only listed on HTX for China. They can swap, obviously, but they can buy directly with yen on HTX. And what we saw in January might surprise you. My last video went over directly how Monero's already hit $1,000. And Western exchanges, some of them, rolled that back. They're like, oh no. Monero did not hit $1,000. Please do not feel FOMO. Retail, please do not know. Okay, we got Binance boy Zach ZBT to publish another story making up claims about Hacker so we can dump it. It was not organic, guys. Ignore the huge amount of people you guys saw buying Monero, okay? Please ignore that. Please ignore the huge amount of faces we saw, okay? Hacked. No one wants this coin. Only hackers, okay? What we saw with China is they've fully bought. They've fully bought on exchanges, on the exchanges they could. They've fully depleted the order books. And a lot of people made a lot of money during that run. Okay, other exchanges too, because it's only on a few. Fully sent beyond $1,000. And you're like, oh, Mav, okay, yeah, whatever, could have been an error. Listen, $1,000 is a very important psychological barrier if you have not known. A lot of people have been conditioned and brainwashed to think, hey, Monero's on number go up coin. It's never going to $1,000. It's never going to $10,000. It's never going to $100,000, $1 million, $10 million. You're out of your fucking mind. You're bonanzas. You're bonkers. Once that barrier is broken, everyone on crypto Twitter knows about it. Everyone on social media in the space who's touched crypto knows about it. Once that barrier is broken, and you see notifications pop up on everyone's phones around the country, you're going to see FOMO to the likes you have never seen before, nor can you comprehend. Because this coin has actual use. It is known as the black swan of crypto. That's right, the black swan of crypto. Matt, what are you talking about, the black swan of crypto? The black swan of crypto means everyone knows Monero's endgame. Right now, crypto is a casino. These exchanges pop up these coins because they make money off of people trading them, the fees. They don't care what it actually does. They don't care if it's used. They don't care about its properties. They don't give a shit about any of that. Okay, it's not going to make them money. That's why they will willingly delist Monero. That's why it's on so many few exchanges, alongside regulatory pressure, because law enforcement cannot trace it. It's also proof to you, the viewer, hey, when I use this thing, I'm not going to go behind bars. Hey, this thing is actually private, okay? They can't list it. They could, but they don't want to. They will be forced to when number goes up. Everyone's going to want to be buying it, and guess what? They make money off of fees. It's going to eventually hit a boiling point where they're going to make way more money having it listed than having it not, and maybe paying a fine here and there by a three-letter agency or some court or something. They maybe pay like $100,000, even $100,000 a day fine. They're going to be making in millions and millions and maybe even billions of dollars a day, and just having it listed. This is the only coin with utility. This is the next Bitcoin. This is essentially Bitcoin 2.0. Okay, so what was Bitcoin sold to us as? This private freedom money. Okay, and as we later found out, hey, it's not this private freedom money, it's just a public bank account. Hey, it's slow as shit. Hey, it's expensive as fuck to send. And Monero is private, cheap, and fast to use. Okay, it mods it in every single way. There's no better selling point than to point out, hey, Bitcoin fucking sucks, and Monero is Bitcoin, but better in every single way and meant to last until the end of time, which is the tail inflation. So Bitcoin at 21 million coins, it can't provide network security, and miners are not going to be able to mine anything because no one uses this transaction-wise because they made it expensive, they made it slow, no one's going to transact with it because they were supposed to survive off of the fees from transactions. Okay, so miners are going to have to turn off. Electricity is not free. Okay, they have these huge machines that are running nonstop that cost them a lot of money. And if they're not making any money once the coins, run out, sorry, you got to survive off of fees now. They're turning off all those miners. Network security goes, easily. Any nation state, anybody could just, who's going to mine it if you're not going to make any money, right? Network security is just going to nuke. You have to add a tail inflation. What about people that die with a whole bunch of coins too? Human nature. Losing your coins. Look, gold has a 2% tail inflation every year. Monero is 0.8%. And I will put the actual statistic right here so you can check for yourself, the nerds. But yes, Monero is listed on one exchange in most countries, which means when Monero starts to go up, when there's a lot of demand for it, you're going to see order books filling up on Kraken. You're going to see people rushing in and just buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. And because it's not on Coinbase, it's not on Crypto.com, it's not on Gemini, it's not on these other different exchanges where it spreads out. It's now concentrated. So you have a lot of people trying to fit through a little door. And if you don't know about supply and demand, motherfucker, when a lot of people want something and there's a little small quantity of it, the price of that thing tends to fucking go up. So you got a whole bunch of people rushing to own this asset that are just pouring money into this one or two exchanges they have in this country. You are going to see it skyrocket like you've never seen it before. It's not a diverse order book with a whole bunch of liquidity. It is going to full send it. We have 18 million coins the last time I checked. And it's been like that for half a decade since I've been in this coin. And it's not going to speed up anytime soon. We're going to have a very low, which mathematically equates to 0% inflation every year. Just like you see with gold. Gold has an inflation. And there's 1 billion trillion ounces of gold in space. Okay? As the human species develops, as it always has, no one thought we were going to go into space. And no one's going to think we're going to do space mining. No one thought we'd have AI. No one thought we'd have telephones. No one thought we had cars. Okay? These far-fetched, whatever. We got to think in the terms of progress. Humanity always advances and will always advance. So, this liquidity is going to skyrocket. We saw it happen on HTX. We saw it happen on Whitebit. We saw it happen on Kraken too. Everyone is concentrated in each country on the exchange, and they were just pumping it. So when Monero's price goes up, these people are forced to now use that exchange. Whatever, I already went over that. That is number two. Monero's only listed on one exchange in most countries, which means everyone's forced to use that exchange, and the order books, if you didn't know, people buying and selling on it, very concentrated. They don't go to all these other different exchanges, which spreads out all the liquidity. Just use one. Whew, okay. We're not going to talk about the nerd stuff here. You can do your own research. You can do whatever. You can trust me because I am the GOAT. Stable coins, KYCing all coins. If you didn't know, stable coins are often frozen. They're freezed. Okay? Why? Why are they going to KYC everyone? Because guess who uses these stable coins? Guess who got caught running a $40 billion darknet empire on Telegram? The Chinese. They had a whole bunch of USDT frozen that was linked to those dark web transactions. Some people might go, oh, so on dark web is Telegram. It does not change the fact that it was a $35 to $40 billion darknet marketplace for Chinese. And they're smart. They only use stable coins because they don't like the volatility. They like 1 USDT equal 1 USDT. They don't care about the inflation, which is devaluing that, okay, which is frankly not smart. But right now, it's essentially a bank account, the stable coins. So they could get exposure to United States dollars. They could essentially hold those without any customer verification. There's no KYC like it would a bank account. So they could have these US dollars that they can send in, essentially digital dollars, what a stable coin is. And why are they going to KYC them? Well, there is regulation that is happening, okay? You think the United States government, the banks, are just going to allow this essentially digital dollar to be used by China. It's also used by Iran a lot. It's also used by Russia. These three mega countries love their United States dollar stablecoins. They hold it in USDT, USDC. They also love to use the Tron network and Bitcoin. Those coins are their pride and joy. Okay, Monero is so small right now, and once it pumps, eventually, of course, they're going to transact with that. And we'll also full send the price. We'll cover that later. But the Western exchanges, the Western laws and regulations will require companies to force customer verification on all coins. And we see this. They freeze coins all the time. You're going to have to go through a process where you submit your ID. Otherwise, these coins go poof, gone. And that's a lot of revenue for the United States government if they KYC every stablecoin. And it's coming. It's not permissionless. It's not decentralized. Okay, it's controlled by one company, these stablecoins. I think it'll shut them all off and require customer verification for every single last cent. And it is coming. There will be a law passed very shortly. And I'm sure you can go through these bills. It's slipping my brain right now. But it will be required, customer verification, for all stablecoins, which is why I also want to pass the Clarity Act, which will help with stuff like this. So you will essentially be using a bank account, a digital dollar, verified, KYC, all that stuff, with stablecoins. So that is a huge, what is that? Billions and billions of dollars that is just frozen. People who can't transact. People are going to want to transact with crypto. And where is that going to go when they learn, oh shit, we can't use stablecoins because they're frozen, they're centralized, they're essentially digital dollars. They're going to flow to Monero, right? Number 4, getting the attention it deserves. Monero, for the past decade, it's existed the past 11 years, has not gotten attention. The influencers in the space have pushed everyone away, saying Monero is not a number go up coin. Even one of the creators has said this, that Monero is not a number go up coin, it's not an investment. You know, it's just a digital currency. But they didn't realize what they created. Okay? There's never been an influencer who's told you straight how it is, because it's very dangerous to do so. They created digital cash. Now, what is cash used for? Everything. Cash is king. And we're going to talk later about phasing out of cash, which is another bullish factor. Okay? Because everybody loves cash. And we all know what is happening. Hint, hint, central bank digital currency, a digital dollar. This is just a prerequisite to a digital dollar, stable coins. And the attention it deserves essentially gets down to the fact that the community grows. We get more eyeballs on Monero YouTube videos. We get more eyeballs on Twitter. We get more people in the Monero Society Telegram group chat. We get more visitors to xmrhub.org. AML Insured swaps, fast, KYC free, funds never frozen. Okay, good rates. Help support the channel, help support the project. Back to the video. Monero deserves endless liquidity. Monero deserves endless attention because it's pure, right? This is not a scam. It's not a meme coin. It's not shitty dookie bookie coin, okay? This is your golden key to unlock your cage of financial slavery. This is something that is going to free humanity in the endless wars, the inflation, the mass misery. It is going to end a certain type of people who like to control banking and to destroy every gold-backed system that powerful men try to establish to free their citizens, their fellow brothers. So yes, you know that. You know that certain nose gang, small hat gang. When more people realize that, hey, this Monero thing's private freedom money, you have these Bitcoiners back in the day who would go to all these venues, all these meetings. You know, they wore the suits, they went to talk to all these influential people. They constantly shield Bitcoin everywhere. Every corner of the network, it was Bitcoin. They went in real life, they were holding a sign that said, buy Bitcoin. We don't have that for Monero. Monero's never gotten that attention. Monero never had these influencers that did anything but sabotage the project and do the federal agent's job for free. What? What are you talking about? How are they doing the federal, but I'm an esteemed person. Federal agents want you to think that Monero is not a number go up coin because that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. They want you to not invest. They want you to not hold. They want you just to use it. They don't hold, which boosts the number, which brings people in, which brings entrepreneurs and businesses in, which further increases the price and becomes a snowball and just a positive feedback loop. No. You know, don't buy Monero. Don't free yourself. Don't free humanity. Don't end the endless wars. Okay? Go buy Sonic Inu coin. go buy Melania Trump coin. Okay, it's the best coin ever. We promise we won't rug you. We might. Okay, it's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge, just like my schlong. Okay. Jeffrey Epstein loved me. He loved me so much. He has me on video. I miss my little Pookie. I miss my little Pookie. Okay. We are going to make Bitcoin great again. We are going to distract from Monero. We're going to pump the Zionist cash coin. Okay. I would do anything for Israel. I love Israel. Israel is my greatest ally. Wall kisser. No, but Monero deserves attention. Monero deserves people shilling it and shoving it down people's throat. With more eyeballs means more people that are going to end up buying, that are going to end up holding, that are going to be accepting at their businesses, that are going to end up creating these things that we need, which further do a snowball. You know, this is one of the things that I'm doing. These videos, my subscribers have been climbing. Thank you. I love you. If you're listening, you subscribed. You press on like, you're commenting, boosting the algorithm. What I'm trying to do is bring attention to Monero, right? I had a 20,000 follower Twitter account that got cleansed because of what I was doing, okay? For no reason at all. They just want an excuse. I am posting on Twitter all the time, bringing more people in. Same with YouTube. I'm building a community on Telegram. You should join Monero Society. 1,500 members and climbing. We've been growing even in a bear market, because guess what? Community matters. I've covered this in many videos. Community is what makes a coin. And people before me said collectivism is bad. And that actually sabotages the project, because the community makes the coin. That attention is the most important thing. Attention is liquidity. With more attention, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been successfully doing. And thank you for all who subscribe and like and comment. I've said that a few times now. But you're helping boost, you're helping getting eyeballs, and you're helping further push this $10 million per coin to becoming an actual fundamental reality, okay? If we believe that Monero is not gonna go up, okay, we believe these mantras these people have said. We say, nah, man, I'm not gonna hold Monero, I'm not gonna go all in, you know, this isn't like a crapshoot, this is like a gamble. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. And that's what's happened for the past decade. That's why Monero's not gotten the attention it deserves. Because number go up brings in more people, and you're going to get those people who shout about Monero to the rooftops, just like we saw with Bitcoin. They understood what you needed to do. This thing is going to change the world. And it's not going to if nobody fucking knows about it. It's important, and it's going to happen. And I've been doing everything I could possibly do. So, this is obviously going to happen at some point. Once people learn that, hey, this private freedom money is changing the world, it's better than Bitcoin, people are going to rush to have it. It's why attention matters so much. And it is going to push this coin to heights that unimaginable by itself. Number 5, we are almost halfway through. We are essentially halfway through. Huge economies established. Now this goes to Mav's economic theory, which, you know, the last whiteboard. I'm wearing a suit now. I obviously have upgraded. You can see the whiteboard now, what I'm pointing at, what I'm saying. We've learned, we've been growing constantly, and obviously I'll probably look back at this video in a year and be, hey, this was so rough and all this, and you can go back to my old videos, and it's gotten better, okay? It's one of the most important things is just go straight ahead into it. You don't overthink it. Action is the hardest thing to do. The world is full of thinkers, but very few doers. So, establishing these large economies, if you haven't seen Mav's economic theory video, I recommend watching it, listening to it in the background while you do stuff. Establishing these large economies essentially prevents number go down. Okay, if we have established a multi-billion-dollar dark net market. Okay, that's clear if everybody hasn't known. It's one Google search away. So we cannot dip below this certain price, and that's why the chart looks the way it does. Okay? It's not going to dip below this $3-4 billion that this dark net economy exists. So if we establish, okay, we have this market price, market cap cannot go below this. We establish this huge gambling economy, which last time I checked, crypto gambling is worth tens of billions of dollars. We establish this, we even take just a little chunk of it. The market cap cannot dip below this. We establish this economy, market cap cannot dip below this. So it's going to go up as we're establishing. Boom, it's going to bring more people in. Okay, which is going to create businesses, which is going to push up, add liquidity, and it's going to really just cause a positive feedback loop. The more Monero is accepted and used, the more it cannot go down volatility-wise. This is just basic economics, and if you don't understand economics, don't worry, you don't have to go back to school or anything. I will dumb it down for you because I am the king of the retards. Okay, as a fellow retard, I'm one of the most retarded persons here. So one thing I can do is I can establish a gambling economy because that's one of my fortes. I like to play with money, okay? I don't think you should go gamble your life savings away. That's fucking stupid. Have a little fun here and there. Watch a game with your wife, your friends. Go crack open a beer. Go have some fun, okay? Life is crazy. You could die tomorrow. Enjoy life a little. Just don't give in to the pleasure too much. Be disciplined. Be a good man. Work out. Eat healthy. But enjoy your little fun here and there. And that's what I do, okay? I'm not gambling. I'm not addicted to it. I have my vices. I have an addictive personality, frankly. I'm sure some can relate to having an addictive personality, but I channel that. So it's channeled at the gym. It's channeled at Monero. So it's not going to be overwhelming about gambling, but we're not going to keep rambling here. One of the key best places you can gamble Monero on is BC Game, right? And I've played a few games on there. I played on Tower.bet. Frankly, my best experience has been with BC Game. And multiple people in the Monero Society Telegram, I'm like, yo, they're like, oh, I want to go sports bet with my Monero and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, sure. And I just send them a little link to bc.game, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing. I love betting with Monero. And I'm like, yeah, it's an amazing experience. And if you use our link too, we're going to post it in the description. We get a percentage, XMR Hub, and help support me, it helps support the project. Furthering it, we're doing multiple different projects under it. We update it nonstop. It costs you nothing extra. You just click a link. Essentially, we get a percentage of whatever you gamble after you deposit. So, I'm not saying this to line my pockets. It's a genuinely good platform, and I use it quite a bit. Not addicted. It's very fun. I love gambling, but don't let it take over. Gamble responsibly, obviously. Huge economies. Oh, and I'm making a prediction market too, if you haven't seen. XMR predictions. It's going to have 5-minute markets. It's been under development since March because obviously security and UI and all this stuff, it takes a while. Okay, we're not going to rush out some slop like we've seen some copycats. We've seen a lot of people try to copy XMR Hub, XMR predictions, but they don't see the vision. They don't have a grander, they don't know what they're doing. They're essentially trying to pull at my coattails and just copy whatever I do, and frankly, that's not going to win. They're not having their own original ideas and thoughts. This project's whole goal is to make a fuck ton of money, also benefit the user, right? You're not betting against us. You're not betting against the house. You're betting against other people. Okay, and we just collect a fee off the winnings. But with those winnings, with that money, not only are we giving dividends to investors, right? If you want to invest, just reach out. You can go to xmrhub.co. We've raised investors. We have it publicly. If you sign an NDA, we will obviously blur your name and we won't disclose you anywhere. We've had a lot of people say, hey, we want to sign an NDA, and hey, we want X, Y, and Z to happen, and we'll make it happen. Okay, but with this prediction market, with this money, we want to expand the space. Okay, we want Monero in the hands of everybody. We want to fight legally for Monero. Okay, and obviously we want to reinvest into the platform and make it one of the best prediction markets in all of crypto. And frankly, once we've done that, Polymarket's really our only Polymarket and Myriad, our only competition. Kalshi does not accept crypto. Kalshi is USD only and one of the most regulated prediction markets to ever exist. That is their whole thing. Once it's up and running and once it's up and going, we are going to hammer Monero down the masses. Listen, it's supposed to be a melting pot for Monero. Okay, you can send any coin, you can deposit Counter-Strike skins. If you don't know what that is, it's an in-game currency, not in-game currency, in-game skin you could use. It's very big. You can deposit Dota 2, you can deposit any coin ever under the sun, and you can only withdraw Monero. You bet in Monero. You don't do anything. You don't got to swap. You don't got to do nothing. You just got to send it to the platform. You immediately get Monero. So that's what I'm doing. That's what you should be doing. Establishing economies using Monero. Obviously, buy more than you spend. Don't spend all your Monero. This is an amazing investment, an amazing investment opportunity. Number 6, baby. Iran, China, Russia. You might be asking, what do these 3 countries, what could they do for me? What could they do for $10 million per coin, right? Becoming the next global currency. That's that $10 million per coin goal. Next global currency, Bitcoin creators said it. It's basic economics, fundamental supply and demand. Okay. they use USDT, they use Bitcoin. That is the overwhelming majority of what they use, stablecoins and Bitcoin. And we've seen multiple cases of the United States government freezing Iran's USDT, and they use a lot of it. They've sanctioned Bitcoin addresses. They've been sanctioning these exchanges that transact with the Bitcoin that has been associated with Iran, China, and Russia, especially Iran due to the ongoing war for Israel, part of the United States. And it's an inevitability, right? Because we have these laws in place that, hey, you cannot transact with whoever we say is our enemy. We don't have to really provide proof or anything. We just say that your enemy and sanction you and use money as a weapon. Money should never be a weapon. It is something we bleed, we die for. And you know, it hasn't been a weapon for all of humans' history with gold. Okay, you can't seize another country's gold unless you invade them and you conquer them. You can't just do it across borders and seize their funds and all that stuff. But that's what's happening right here for the first time in all of human history, is they are freezing funds from other countries far away. And these countries are eventually going to get sick and fed up with it. We saw Iran list Monero on every single exchange in the country. That is right. It is easier to buy Monero in Iran than it is in the United States. The United States only has Kraken and UEX. And UEX is a little unknown about because it launched in December of 2025. And we have it listed on XMR Hub. We also have it in the description below. If you use our link, we get an affiliate, which helps the site development. It should go without saying, helps the channel. So that's the same with all the links. These people are going to want a currency that is out of the hands of the United States government. They can't touch, they can't freeze. And Bitcoin doesn't fit that mold. Coins can be tainted. They can't sell on exchanges. But what's a coin that they can send and receive for cheap, privately, so they can't freeze it, and fast, okay? Especially for the critical moves. They're going to want Monero. Do they know about Monero? Maybe. The Chinese fucking sent it, okay? Iranians listed on every single exchange in the country. But they are not freezing every single coin of the USDT for a reason. Because those people would freak the fuck out and they would jump ship to Monero. They're going to slowly freeze, or they could do it all in one go. They could freeze all of the Bitcoin essentially, because if it's blacklisted, they can't swap it. They can't sell it on exchanges. What are they going to do? Ladies and gentlemen, we both know these countries need a solution, and Monero is that solution. And with these tens of billions of dollars that are going to flow into Monero, it is going to cause upwards volatility. And it's not an if, it's a when. Okay? These countries need Monero. They don't need USDT and Bitcoin. It's a liability for them. And when you realize that currency is the lifeblood of a nation, that they learn, oh, hey, there's this fix everything button that is Monero. They're going to push that baby. They're going to slam their
lizard
shit out of it. They don't like Westerners. They don't like the West, the government. Because the government, not us, not you and me, has committed the most egregious atrocities ever committed in all of human history under the guise of national security, under the guise of whatever you might call it, terrorism or whatever made up thing to go fight for Israel's enemies. Okay, we've made, not you and me, but the government has made these countries absolutely hate us, hate our currency, hate our financial thing. Obviously, they're going to use it right now because it's strong, right? We're the world's currency for now, but that doesn't last. Okay, currencies come, currencies go, and the nations come and go with them. Is a very important caveat. But with the Monero global standard, it makes everything fair and free. Currency is no longer a weapon. And these countries are going to be some of the first adopters. They're going to be the first nation states to go fully on the Monero standard. Right? Because crypto has gone mainstream. And as long as you can get cryptocurrency in your wallet, you could always trade that for Monero. And now this is going to be a plug for xmrhub.org. You can swap your coins at xmrhub.org. We get a fee. Costs you nothing extra. Helps support the channel. xmrhub.org. I know I've said that a few times. But let me show you on it real quick. AML Insured, which means your coins will never be frozen. Or we never had a single complaint. We've only had people praise it in the Telegram group chat. You should join also. Okay, it's going to be good rates, and it's going to be one of the fastest swaps you ever see. People are complaining about KYC, RIP, Wagyu, Trocador, all of them taking for long, and errors and issues, and your funds are held up for hours and stuff. No, that's unacceptable. Our swaps are going to be the best experience you ever see. If you ever have any issues, just join the Telegram. I want it all public. You can DM me. I'd rather just be on the group chat. I want everyone to see, because guess what? Everyone has a positive experience, and if they have any issues, like, oh hey, I sent this coin, which is not a good coin. Can you help me? Always solved, baby. So we're gonna go back to one of the last ones here, baby. Physical cash phased out and the central bank digital currency. What is the central bank digital currency, Math? Is this like some conspiracy theory type thing? No, it's out in the open. They have a goal, 2030, central bank digital currency, which is just a digital paper money, meaning they can freeze all of your money in one click. Okay. They can put time limits on your money. It is programmable money. Full government control. They can put limits on what you can buy. You can only buy $120 worth of petrol or gas within a month. You can only spend X amount of money on meat product at H-E-B or Whole Foods or Walmart. Okay? It is full control. It is going to be hailed as a savior for the currency collapse. And it's either going to be a global Monero standard, which is going to make you filthy rich. All right, we're not going to be priced in dollars if you haven't already known, buddy. This is going to be, everything's going to be priced in Monero at this point. It's $10 million. One Monero will equal the equivalent of $10 million in 2026. As of right now, we're not going to be priced in dollars. We're not going to touch dollars when it's worth this much in today's standards. Okay, so this $400 investment, this, what is it right now, $430? This $430 investment is going to return you thousands of percent. You're going to be thanking me. You're like, oh my God, Matt, these videos, your tweets, this group chat, xmorhub.org swaps, you helped immensely. Holy shit, you changed the trajectory of humanity. You helped you made me rich, man. This was the best. You were right about everything. Are these videos? Holy shit, dude. You made all the retards rich. Okay? It's huge. It's huge. We're gonna get rich. We're gonna free humanity. We are going to make the retards rich. That's from the last video. Last whiteboard video. But yes, the central bank digital currency is coming, right? The dollar is down, what? It was like 92 to 98%. Okay, it's the reason why you don't purchase as much, because your dollar is not worth as much as it used to be. Boomers used to be able to work a summer job and be able to buy a car, buy a home, and you have to work exponentially harder because the currency you own, the piece of paper you own, is worth less and less and less. That inflation, the money they print out of thin air, which devalues your money. And you might be going, oh shit, what about cash then? With the central bank digital currency, you know, I know it's digital money and I know it's programmable, but I'm sure cash is going to be a thing, right? It's a full currency reset, man. Cash is not going to be worth anything. The dollar is going to go to literal zero, and they're going to be hailing this programmable money as a savior. You're going to have to adopt it. Okay, your paper money is worth nothing. The dollars in your bank account, it's a currency reset. That's what they want. They need the system that is crumbling to be just kicked over. It's why they're ramping up inflation. It's why they're stealing from you nonstop, because they know what's happening. They know they need a reset. And they don't want physical cash. You see all these businesses not accepting physical cash anymore. As part of the 2030 goal, is it's going to be environmentally friendly. Okay? All these brink trucks coming to these businesses, and the security and the processing and the printing of cash and all this stuff. Listen, financial privacy right now, the kingpin is going to be cash. That is what the drug trade, that is what normal people every day at the farmer's market use. That is what some people used to go to the grocery store with and pay their cousin, pay your Johnny who lives down the street to mow your lawn. Cash is king. That is undebatable right now. No one is paying their neighbor Bitcoin right now. It failed as a currency. It's a horrible currency to use. Physical cash right now is a superior currency to Bitcoin. And that value is decreasing dramatically and is going to be worth nothing. You're going to be able to wipe your butt with it pretty soon. And this physical cash, that's part of the old world. They're phasing that out. It's all digital. They want everything digital now. They're removing discs from video game consoles. Okay, it's small. I mean, you don't care about video games. I don't use consoles. They're removing that physical disc, that ownership of the game. They don't want you to own anything. They want you to rent, which makes them money. Look, if we follow the money, it's clear as day. Look, if I take your ability to do X and I get filthy rich doing so, I'm going to do that thing. Incentives, financial incentives to do so. Like, oh no, people aren't that bad. You have not seen humanity. You have not studied history. You do not understand human nature in and of itself, the greed. And taking away cash is going to be hailed as, oh, only criminals use cash. Okay, you know, you pay on your lawnmower $20. That's criminal. Okay, why do you need financial privacy? Okay, only criminals need financial privacy. Fuck off. Okay, I work for my money. I sweat for my money. I bleed for my money. Who the fuck are you to tell me how I can spend it, what I can do with it? That you're my daddy now, that you have to spy on all my money and you have to keep... Dude, suck my fat fucking schlong, okay? We are going to overthrow you. We're going to throw a rock at your glass house, and we're going to get rich. We're taking all of your money, and we're going to free humanity. You deserve to rot. You deserve to be poor. Fuck you. Give me dangerous freedom and not peaceful slavery. I don't want to be a slave. I don't give a shit about that. Give me dangerous freedom, baby. Our forefathers of the American Constitution signed their name boldly, knowing it meant death. They were willing to cross the continent in order to establish a better life. They fought for freedom. That same freedom we take for granted every single day. The same freedom that they are trying to extinguish. And Monero is the last stronghold here. With Monero, we have a chance to take this country back. With Monero, we have a chance to free every single country around the world that has been crushed and stomped with central banks. Banking is the enemy of mankind and has been for 2,000 years. If we study history, one of the best books you could ever read on banking, and it's not boring, A History of Central Banking and the Enslavement of Mankind. You want to know why these countries are displaced? Why there's no United States of Africa? They killed Gaddafi, who created a gold standard, who made Libya one of the most prosperous countries who ever existed. Simply for the fact that they challenged the United States dollar, the fiat dollar, and the banking system. You fuck with the banking system and they fucking kill you. That's why a gold standard will never be the solution. Gaddafi had a gold standard, killed. Julius Caesar established a new standard, killed, and made this villain throughout history. All these people are made villains that go against central banking. Essentially, they don't want a money printer. You know, they want their citizens who sweat, who blood, who use their brains, who do all this important heavy lifting to be able to be prosperous from that hard work that they do. They do not want this evil, greedy banker, collecting and stealing from their pockets by just printing the money and giving it to themselves from... And that's all inflation is they're just printing money out of thin air. That these people are sweating, that are bleeding, that are dying for, that are giving their all, that are using their intellectual brains to create these fucking important things. These people are evil. These people are parasites and deserve to be expunged. And that's what we're doing with Monero. These people are useless now with Monero. They can't print money out of thin air. They're going to, natural selection is obviously going to push them out of humanity's gene pool. Okay. A hard money, we're going back to traditional systems, baby. A hard money means there's no more financial risks. Okay. These people are not going to be able to just do a whole bunch of things like 2008. 2008 is never going to be a thing anymore. These people are going to be financially responsible. And that's what we should aim for. The power of your money is now in your control. Just like gold coins. You control that gold coin. You control that physical cash. It's no different with Monero. You control Monero. Just like you control digital cash and, not digital cash, gold and cash. Okay, it's no different. Lastly, number 8, carrot update. View key update. And guess what this means? More listings. Right now is going to add compliant privacy, okay? Not by default. By default, it is like physical cash, but better in every sense. But, maybe I have an accountant. Maybe I run a business, okay? Maybe we don't have a government that sends all of our taxes to a foreign nation that hates us, and that our funds are laundered and all this stuff because the government has an uncontrolled money printer and money is not real. It's fugazi, fugazi, wazi is a woozy. You can share everything. Essentially, you're in transactions, the money you're receiving, the money you're going out, optionally. Okay, this is not by default. No one knows unless you share it. And these exchanges, they need an excuse to be able to list Monero. Okay, because they need the anti-money laundering. Well, now you can just submit a view key for a wallet. Maybe you don't even have to have used the wallet for very long. You can create a brand new wallet and submit the view key, and that's good enough for the exchange. Now they can see that, oh yeah, okay, this wallet belongs to you, and that the funds were sent to this wallet. Coinbase is going to be able to list it. OKX is going to be able to list it. Crypto.com, all these different things, because now they have a way to skirt the law. Okay, well, it's not skirting the law because technically it's compliant, right? They can see the wallet, they can see the transaction history, and now they can implement things like, oh, hey, your wallet, in order to sell your Monero, needs to have history and be able to explain this and that, if it's requested and whatnot. They can obviously implement that, which will also further be able to let them list Monero in all these exchanges, which is that update right there, number 8, is coming with number 1, FCMP++. Those two are combined, which is meaning if you buy before FCMP++, you are going to be unfathomably rich because updates in Monero do not fail. We got some really smart autists here. And with this update, you're going to see it on Coinbase. You're going to see it on every single exchange. And more liquidity means number go up more. The more people learn about it, they're going to be able to buy it like that on Robinhood, on every exchange. And you're going to want to front run this. You want to go all in. Don't hold Bitcoin. Don't hold a UST. I get asked this all the time. Mav, are you actually all in? My brother in Christ, I went all in at $130 after the Binance delisting. Okay, if you didn't know, I was a real estate agent. Didn't work out. So then I was figuring out things. I sold everything. I put it all in Monero. I listened to a podcast and I was like, oh my God, this thing is going to take over. This is the next global currency. I was already in Monero before that, but I leverage traded it away. I did all this and I was foolish. And I was chasing a career and doing all this stuff and all that, but I went all in, and I've been all in since 130, and we're at what, 430 right now? I think it's a pretty good investment, you know what I'm saying? Most hedge fund, 99% of people will never see returns like that, and we're just getting started. It's like getting on Bitcoin at $430 or $130, right? That's nothing. This is like fucking pennies. You think that's a lot? Just wait until we're sky high, okay? You might be like, oh, this is ridiculous. You're being stupid. No. This is basic fundamental economics. Okay, just because I add a little bit of personality, a little bit of pizzazz, a little bit of meat, does not take away from the fact that this is an inevitability. Okay, I'm not saying it's not. It like might happen. I'm saying that it will happen, God willing. Please God, please let this happen. We're going to free humanity. We're going to fix the money. It has to, or the world is going to go to shit. Otherwise, we have the central bank digital currency. We have total slavery, and there's no getting out of that fucking system. God will come and destroy that world. So it's either Monero. A lot of people are not religious. I don't care. I'm religious. Christ is king. You don't have to believe in Christ. You can say the universe, whatever. The universe will destroy this world if we let it get to a point where it cannot be done. We've had multiple resets in this world. More exchanges will be able to list it, which means more people will be able to buy it, withdraw it, more liquidity, obviously number go up. It's just basic common sense. And lastly, baby, short squeeze. We saw this with number 2, China. They set it to $1,100 and proved alongside Monero Run, which I don't know if you know what that was. I found a bug. The Reddit award system with a low internet connection in LA Fitness parking lot. And what I did is I just spammed awards because I had shitty service. It just let me send endless ones, and I was like, this is fine. This is fucking lit. And I was like, I wonder if I sent a bunch of rewards if this post was going to take off. And it did. And it proved that, hey, if you juice something a little bit, it's going to do pretty good. But I have not applied that to really anything. And it's just something I've kept in my brain like, one day we decide to do more Monero runs, we're going to juice the shit out of them. But when people withdrew this coin, it sent the coin $100. It was flying. And when we started to go up in price, we saw a lot of different exchanges break. Okay, we saw a lot of this price suppression, poof, and we just saw the coin going up. So when we get a lot of buyers in, which we have been, we get a lot of new eyeballs, we got a lot of new buyers, a lot of new holders. That is going, so you can see, to break the price suppression. Look, they can only suppress it so much. And the Federal Reserve, under oath in Congress, admitted, hey, we suppress the price of gold. Okay, we're trying to keep the dollar stable. If people exit the dollar and buy gold and we let it naturally price, it is going to skyrocket and end our unlimited money printer. It's in their best interest to suppress the price of Monero. Not only, one, since this is our last point, it's in the interest of, one, banks, because what does Monero do? Monero's end goal is to end banking and establish the next global monetary system, the Monero standard. And that will mean one Monero at that time will be the equivalent of 10 million US dollars in 2026. We won't be pricing US dollars for the midwits. Number one, banks. That's where we're a threat too, because we're going to end their monopoly on the money printer. Number two, exchanges. You might be asking, hey, how are we a threat to exchanges? We're a threat to exchanges because exchanges make money based off of fees. They make exchanges off of people chasing pump fund coins, all these meme coins, all these Cosmos, the ADA, the Cardano, fucking all these other little shit coins. Forget me off the top of my list. The more people buy and sell that coin, they push the coin artificially, buying and selling. They get money off the fees, and it's in their financial interest to have all these coins. But Monero is the end game, right? When people get in Monero, they don't want anything else, and they're going to lose out on money with the buying and the selling, the casino. They want a casino. They don't want anybody to actually use a cryptocurrency. They don't want anything to take over. Okay, they just want buying and selling. They don't want the world to change. They just want to line their pockets. They're greedy. We're a threat to exchanges. And one of the key points is law enforcement. I don't know if I spelled that. Law enforcement. All right, listen, it's a little bit rough. You're not going to be able to see that all that well. Law enforcement, okay? We're going to go, the money launderers, the more terrorism financing. If they can't trace it, it's impossible to see. It's like physical cash. And they hate that. They want to be able to control and see everything you are doing down to the last T and be able to judge and critique every single thing you do. You are being spied on financially right now. Maybe you enjoy that. Maybe you enjoy being a slave. But I don't like being watched. I like being able to spend my money however I see fit. So this makes us a target for law enforcement who also want to suppress the price. So there are multiple different factors. Last one, Bitcoiners. You might be asking, hey, aren't Bitcoiners in the same basket as us, Mav? I thought these people, we're all crypto bros and we're all in the same space and we're sharing a common goal with something or whatever. No. Bitcoiners hate Monero. And if you bring up Monero to a Bitcoiner, they freak out. The eyes they give you, the tone, the vibe shift. And it's why Peter Schiff, a gold bug, very famous, started to shill Monero.
If I want to send somebody my Bitcoin who's in Australia to make a payment right now, I can't just do that with my 12 words in my head, right? I gotta use one of these wallets. I gotta be able to use the network to process these payments. So it's and if you want a token that's less confiscatable, I would say use Monero, right? Because it's got a lot more privacy features than Bitcoin, so that there's fewer regulators that can see what you're doing. I mean, you don't need Bitcoin for that. But
But
I think
if you go that route, then you can say that Ethereum is better.
Anytime he's talking to a Bitcoiner. It's why he tweeted that Monero is better than Bitcoin, because it's the truth, and Bitcoiners see that. Because Monero is essentially Bitcoin, but better in every single sense of the Bitcoin 2.0. And that means their investment will not go up. That means they are emotionally attached to their back. And we are a threat to that. They want to get rich. They think they can go to $1 million per coin. They think that's their max and everything. They gave up the $1 million per coin. They gave up the $10 million per coin. The only way they see $1 million per coin is through hyperinflation and the dollar going to zero. No one's actually using Bitcoin. That would be the only way it actually went up in value, is people who were using it, which is massive economic theory, and why Monero will go to $10 million per coin, alongside a host of other different factors. But we are a threat to banks, exchanges, law enforcement, and Bitcoiners. They will all collude in order to keep Monero's price low, in order to make sure that you don't buy and hold Monero, that it stays small, because it's a huge threat to all four of these people. All four of these people hate Monero. It's kind of funny, because Bitcoiners originally were preaching about the same things now the Monero bros are. That we're going to fix the money, we're going to fix the world, death to the banking system, fuck the money printer, the inflation. Now they're shilling for the United States dollar, they're shilling for ETFs, for institutions, for BlackRock. All these people that we sought out to destroy, they are now in bed with. And that is a complete bastardization of crypto and what it was created for, which was to free the peoples of the world. And that is Monero is a ticking time bomb by yours truly. If you like the video, press like, comment, helps boost in the algorithm. Swap on xmrhub.org helps the channel. It's AML Insured, it's fast, it's cheap. Monero Society on Telegram, 1,500 members and climbing. We want you in there. No question is too stupid. Chat, send gifts, send whatever. Okay, free speech is allowed. Make friends. Community is one of the most important things ever. It's going to make the coin. It's going to push people up. Follow my Telegram. I post little updates here and there on my Telegram channel. It's also a little backup in case anything happens. Follow my Twitter, XMR Hub and XMR Scott and XMR Void. Follow the XMR Hub Twitter account, XMRHub_org. And if you want to send me a chat and have it pop up on screen at the end of these videos, feel free to send me a chat on xmrchat.com. I'll be reading them out once we get more messages. And lastly, I just want to thank everyone for their support and all the likes and people who watch the videos to the very end. It means a lot to me, and this is really fun. I enjoy this quite a bit, and people will watch me, and I can somehow get paid to do the Lord's work, essentially, because that's what this is it's establishing this global monetary system, which will end the mass misery, because the banking system, they hyperinflate these currencies, and these people have to run to these other nations, and just ends up destroying a nation, and endless wars, and millions of people dying for the banks, the inflation, all that stuff, So I just really appreciate it, and I'm never going to switch up on this YouTube channel or anywhere. You're never going to see me show a shitcoin. You're never going to see me
Xano is a very good technology, and the Zcash, and Bitcoin, you should diversify your portfolio, and you should...
No, go all in on Monero. Fuck the shitcoins. I'm a Monero only maxi. Okay, that's how we change the world, is Monero. And I think I'm coming to an end. This video is like an hour long. Maybe it's a little bit lower when I edit it, but this. Let me know how you like this video. Do you like the suit? Do you like how long it is? Do you like the whiteboard? I don't know how this video is going to perform. We're experimenting. I have a different little type of videos I have planned out, like experimenting. Like, hey, Does this do good? Hey, does that do good? And we're just seeing where we can go, because my goal, frankly, is to just soak in a whole bunch of people and push them to Monero and create a snowball and, in banking and getting rich, all right? That's obviously going to happen. We're going to get rich. Please stop being scared of being rich. Please stop diversifying. Go all in on Monero. It's going to be huge. Okay, this is not a joke. Legal disclaimer, this is not financial advice. Please do not sue me. But I'm so confident in the fact that this is going to take over that sue me. Okay? Don't actually. But this is a guarantee. As long as Monero doesn't get hijacked, which it's not going to. Okay, Lord willing. Well, where's some wood? Knock on wood. And this world is crazy, and hopefully my videos don't get the eyes of someone super powerful and whatnot, and maybe it gets the eyes of someone super powerful, and if you're listening to this, reach out to me. It's like a crapshoot. Let's change the course of humanity. Frankly, I want to see humanity tap the ocean depths, conquer the stars. I want to see us build monuments all around the world. I want to do amazing shit. I want to create amazing shit. I want to do amazing shit. I want other people to do amazing shit. Okay, I don't believe in this death cult where humanity ends and all this death and hyperinflation and all this mass misery and fiery end. I don't like that end. I want to make God proud. And if you like these videos, press like, comment, subscribe, and until the next video, Mav out.